Okay, hello everybody, my name is Jerome and this is my project, Hardship Paradise, and I will be sharing with you the story of Joss Paper and its maker in Gukeng, Yunlin. Gukeng is located in Yunlin County, part of Taiwan. It is a beautiful, peaceful town in Taiwan, surrounded by agricultural land. But just like many rural places in Taiwan, it suffers the problem of decaying community. And what this means is the outflow of population due to rural to urban out-migration. Gukeng is surrounded by agricultural land. It provides little working opportunities for the youth, hence leading to massive urban out-migration. This typically leads to greater social problems such as declining population, larger generational gap, and discontinuity in cultural inheritance. Over the past 40 years, Yunlin's population has decreased by 200,000. It is expected that another 150,000 will leave Yunlin in the next 30 years. So, quite literally, the local community is slowly disappearing. So does its cultural heritage. Before introducing my design framework, I will share with you my 3 site observations which are critical in guiding my design later. First, age segregations. You rarely see young people walking on the streets, but what is interesting is how strong the elderly community is, and the place they choose for regular gathering. They do not have a community centers, and the places they choose are usually open areas such as playground and fitness corner. A simple mapping exercise shows that the gathering spots are scattered all around Gukeng, and actually they are quite far away from each other. My next observation is about tradition versus modern. Gukeng is culturally and historically rich. While the government has put in effort in conserving historical buildings, modern mansions built by the younger generations are on the rise. These modern mansions are holiday houses for the younger generations when they come back for home visit once a year. And this got me to questions about the value of traditional architecture. Do they deserve to be abandoned, such as in this case, right beside a more modern apartment? And last observation is about the lost heritage and identity of Gukeng. When we engage the local residents and ask them about what is the most memorable event in Gukeng, all of them mention the same place. The Jiaxing Temple, located at the center of Gukeng, is the heart of Gukeng. It has 100 years of history, and during Chinese New Year, family comes here to worship their religion. And most importantly, this is the rare moment of time where the young generations will come back and revisit and reunite with the family. As part of the cultural celebration, burning Joss paper becomes a key community event. The huge device on the right is for them to burn Joss paper. And this got me to think, if this is the final destination of Joss paper, how about before that? How are they being produced? You may have already guessed it. Joss papers are produced in a modern context through modern technology and machinery. However, this wasn't the case decades ago. The manager of the temple shared that they used to be handmade through tedious process, but this wasn't practiced anymore because of how time-consuming and labor-intensive. So not just burning Joss paper is worthy for celebration, the process of making it is equally worthy for celebration. If you don't do anything about it, even the last memory about making Joss paper will disappear. Hence, my design framework leveraged on Joss paper making. Marrying with characteristic of community center, I answered to the 3 pressing issues of the past: to revive the cultural inheritance of paper making, to celebrate the traditional architecture, the characteristic of architectures, and also to encourage the younger generations to come back or even resettle in their hometown, and ultimately achieving greater social good, such as heritage education, community revival, and sustainable response to the environment. And with that, allow me to introduce my design, the Gukeng Heritage Community Center. My site is located right beside the Jiaxing Temple shown in red. This is to create a narrative. When you complete the paper, you will burn it right away in the temple. It is also located along the main street connecting to the next township shown in green. This ensures easy access and exposure to the public road. The site is also at the center of all existing gathering spots, making the relocation much easier. The spaces and programs are designed with the papermaking process. From the recollection of the elderly, there are 7 stages of this papermaking process, from splitting to soaking bamboo, all the way to smashing, separating, scooping, compressing, drying, and cutting them into smaller pieces so that you will make the final product. I have attempted to recreate the process myself and have a first-hand understanding of how difficult the process. It takes me about 1 week to produce so little joss paper. But is this difficulties all that bad? The question I ask here is, can we build a more inclusive community through hardship in the process of collective making? Hardship here refers to the intense physical labor required for patience and the repetitive task. But on the other hand, I also feel a strong sense of satisfaction when I'm holding on to my final hard-earned joss paper. This also provides me with motivation for my future production. So in the case of my community centers, I have to reimagine this traditional papermaking process. In order to overcome the hardship, I disappeared. I have to reimagine this traditional papermaking techniques. So to overcome the spaces are designed to encourage collaborations between the old and the young. Okay, for examples, the younger generations are more active and be able to contribute more through physical labor-intensive activities, while the older generation can focus on easier tasks and sharing of papermaking knowledge. So, hardship paradise becomes a key concept for my designs to encourage, to foster stronger community through collective making. And to make sense of this architecturally, a system of hardship and reward is then developed. Similar to gamifying the production process, a system of reward will be provided after each stage of hard work. For example, cutting bamboos and soaking bamboo on the left-hand side is difficult, but right after that stage, you will be rewarded with a beautiful view of Gukengs with a nice peaceful resting area. So this cycle keeps the participant involved and engaged. And also, this ideology is throughout my design. I will share one later. The form and materiality of the design took reference from traditional Taiwanese architecture, using timber as an indigenous and temple-like structure. The party diagram on the right shows how the form is being derived. Temples in the top left, the main road is shown as dotted line. The space is separated into 3 separate zones. Entrance gallery is on the right, resting areas is at the center, and the more intense working area is placed closer to the temple. Heights are varied for functional purpose and also spatial hierarchy. Traditional Chinese tile roof is then added so that it looks like an extension of the temple. And a roof is also broken down so that natural ventilation and light can enter from the air gap. The stepping back behind allow for maximum sunlight exposure. So this is used for drying paper, and sustainable features such as rooftop openings allow the rainwater to be collected at the center. This water can be used for bamboo treatment and also plant irrigation. Visual connections between interior space, between working and recreational space is established, and my atrium, my central atrium is also a viewing platform to see the papermaking process happen all around it. And with this, it comes to my circulations. This is actually determined by the 7 stages of papermaking process. The visitor entrance is from the main road on the left, and the bamboo truck is entering from the right-hand side. The front area is an educational gallery displaying joss paper craft. The papermaking process starts from the right-hand side, and cutting and splitting of bamboos will be using the pond in blue. Once this stage is over, youth will climb up the level and transfer bamboo through a pulley system. This is intentional to design to make it a fun and exciting experience for the youth. Through the zip lines on top, the youth will be able to see people resting and socializing at the area below. Moving on to stage 3 onwards, blending bamboos into fiber using blenders, bamboo fibers will drop into a new pond for separating residuals and move on to scooping of paper using a sealed screen. The elderly will be able to help with this stage because it's on the ground level and it is easier for them. Moving on to the second to third level, the slanted facade is designed to dry the paper, as well as to display the heritage craft facing the public. Social spaces and individual social pods are integrated on level 2 and 3, so people can rest and chit-chat while waiting for the paper to dry. The facade is also used as sun shading devices, so physical models are made to verify this concept. Each panel can be rotated individually and the height can be controlled through the pulley system as shown here. Moving on, youth on top will pull and control the height of the paper to the desired level, and once the paper is done, it will be transferred to the ground level. This is also an important view-seeing deck to provide this beautiful view of Gukeng as a form of reward. And lastly, the final paper making process will take place on the ground level, and once the paper is cut up, it will be sent to the temple through this sheltered walkway. The visual porosity of the facade allows passerby along the public road to see the paper making process clearly. The process of making becomes a form of public performance, and it is also an invitation for people to enter the building. Porosity also ensures natural ventilation and light to enter. The facade responds both interiorly and exteriorly. On the inside, it is an important as a paper-making production stage, while on the outside it is a showcase of Gukeng's heritage to the public. The circulation is guided by the system of hardship and reward. Every few stages of hardship shown in red colors will be rewarded by a stage of motivation, such as a fun zip-line activities, a beautiful view of Gukeng, and a nice resting area. Spaces are also designed to encourage collaboration between the old and young. For example, the young one will have activities mostly on the higher level, where they need to climb and contribute more physically. While the elderly will be able to focus more on works on the ground level, as they do not have to move so much. In between, there are also spaces to encourage intergenerational mingling between different ages. And lastly, my design also considered elderly access and wheelchair access by integrating lift and ramp throughout my design. And this forms my final drawing, a collage of perspective to tell the story of Joss paper and its maker. The central atrium is the vista of my design, and people of different age group will rest in front of the pond and the bamboo garden. The process of paper-making process happens all around it. Intergenerational intersection lies at the heart of the design. While the younger generations contribute strength by climbing up the ladder and flying through these fun zip-line activities, the elderly artisans will contribute expertise and memory on the ground level. On the left-hand side, elderly helps to filter the paper using a silk screen on the ground level, and the younger generations will pull on top. Framing pleasant view is important to motivate participants. These are a few perspectives of the interior spatial quality. A visual connection is established between different platforms. And to complete the process, dried papers will be transferred down, and after this stage, it will be sent to the temple for final offerings to God. And altogether, each repetitive task of papermaking requires multiple hands and working collectively, creating opportunities for conversation, storytelling, and mutual learning. By turning word of mouth into living memory through architectures, this ensures that the people, the memory, and cultures will never disappear. Thank you.